I'm always talking about adding new game modes to Splatoon, but never coming up with any ideas, so instead of thinking about it, I did what anybody reasonable person would do and asked ChatGPT to come up with some. This is the first game mode it came up with in some great detail. It said, if I were to create a new game mode for Splatoon 3, one idea could be territory conquest mode. In this mode, two teams would compete to gain control over various territories on the map. The objective would be to ink as much territory as possible within a given time limit. The map would be divided into multiple zones, each zone with its representative of a different territory. The teams would start with their respective base territories and the neutral territories would be uninked. At the beginning of the match, the teams would need to strategize and coordinate their efforts to gain control of neutral territories and defend their own. To capture neutral territories, players would have to ink a majority of its surface. Once a territory is captured, it would start generating points for the team that controls it. The more territories a team controls, the faster they accumulate points. However, territories could be contested and captured. Territories could be taken back by the opposing team if they managed to ink the majority of the surface. The game would encourage both offensive and defensive play styles, as teams would need to strike a balance between capturing new territories and defending their own. It would require coordination, communication, map control, strategies, outmaneuver the opponent's team to victory. This new game mode could provide a fresh and strategic experience for players, adding another level of depth and teamwork already in the gameplay of Splatoon 3. After reading that just sounds like they've mixed Splat Zones, which is already a game mode in Splatoon 3, with Domination, a game mode from Call of Duty and other similar games. They've just sounded like they've added inking walls to zones, making that a much more improved version of zones. Or would it just be better if walls were included with zones? Let me know. This game mode doesn't seem very original. I thought people were meant to plagiarise ChatGPT's work, not ChatGPT plagiarising other people's work. Sort it out. And next I asked it to come up with an idea that was original, and this is what it came up with. In Inkvasion, two teams compete in a thrilling objective-based game mode where they take on the roles of thieves and defenders. The objective would be either to steal or protect a valuable artifact located at the centre of the map, known as the Ink Vault. At the start of each match, the Ink Vault is guarded by the defending team, who must prevent the opposing team from reaching and stealing the artifact. The thieves, on the other hand, must work together to infiltrate the vault and keep their escape within the artifact. To steal the artifact, the thieves need to cover it with their team's inks. Once it's sufficiently covered, they can grab it and attempt to carry it back to their team's designated extraction point. The defenders must use their ink to hinder the thieves' progress and protect the vault and reclaim it if the artifact gets stolen. The match unfolds on multiple rounds, with the teams alternating between the roles of thieves defenders. The team that successfully steals the artifact and safely extracts it within the time limit of the round wins the round. If the defenders manage to prevent the theft or recover the stolen artifact, they secure victory. Ink heist would require strategic planning, communication and teamwork. The thieves would need to coordinate their efforts to distract the defenders and create ink paths and protect the carriers. The defenders would need to strategize their defenses and control the map's ink coverage and coordinate their ink attacks to thwart the enemy thieves' progress. This game mode introduces a thrilling cat and mouse dynamic, providing a unique blend of offense and defense. It adds a new layer of strategy and excitement to Splatoon 3's gameplay, challenging players to adapt their strategies and employ clever tactics to outwit their opponents and achieve victory in the high-stakes Wild Vink heist. After reading that, it sounds like it would be a very fun, as not a main game mode but a side party game mode of Splatoon 3. You see, in Splatoon it's very certain that the maps are equal and both sides have the same objective for both teams, so it's always equal. This wouldn't really fit with the same dynamic that is already in the Splatoon 3 game modes, because it involves attackers and defenders, which wouldn't fit but it'd still be fun as a little side LTM maybe. Finally, I asked for one more original game mode, and this is what it came up with. Inkvasion, two teams complete in a fast-paced dynamic mode where their objective is to combine ink colours and create unique fusion colours. The goal is to control specific areas of the map and create as many fusion colours as possible within the given time limit. The map is divided into several colour fusion zones, each representing different fusion colour combinations. The team that inks the most zones in their respective team colours activate them. Once activated, the players from both teams can merge their inks by simultaneously shooting and into the same zones with their colours. The fusions progress begin when 2 or more players from the opposing teams merge their inks in the same zone. As the inks combine, a new fusion colour is created. The team that successfully creates the fusion colour gains points to control the fusion zone. The more players that are involved in the fusion, the stronger and more vibrant the colours become. To keep the gameplay dynamic, fusion colours have different effects on the battlefield. For example, some fusion colours might enhance players' movement speed, increase ink efficiency, or temporarily reveal enemy position. This adds a strategic element as teams must decide which fusion colours to prioritise on the desired effects. Additionally, players can strategically deny fusions by opportunities by splatting opponents, covering their ink in their own colour, preventing them from participating in fusions. This creates an intense skirmishes and strategic battles as teams try and outmaneuver and ink each other's to gain control of the fusion zones. The team with the highest score at the end of the match, based on the number and strength of the fusion colours, have emerged victorious. Inkvasion introduced a unique blend of teamwork and strategic colour mixing mechanics of Splatoon 3. It encourages a colouring balance between opponents' teams as the players must temporarily put aside their rivalry to create powerful fusion colours. This game mode test players' abilities to control and adapt to changing the battlefield and conditions, while Splatoon 3 is showcasing vibrant and creative aspects of warfare in Splatoon 3. I feel like this is another game mode where the players aren't equal in both sides. Like we've discussed before, this does not fit with Splatoon 3's dynamic, and it does seem very complicated for a Splatoon 3 game. As much as I hate saying it, Splatoon 3 is aimed at a younger audience. I won't use the term kids game again because I really hate it, but I can't deny younger people do play this game, and it needs to be simple, this idea, and adapt it to like Minecraft build battles where people have the time to build something. It could be like that. We have a certain amount of time to paint a picture on a certain map with certain weapons, and each member of your team has a different colour to make it harder, and someone judges whose side is better. This could be a more fitting party game mode for Splatoon 3. The Inkvasion mode with different zones and giving you different buffs could be a cool addition for another limited time game mode. So, what do you guys think? Which has been your favourite game mode that ChatGPT has suggested? And do you have any ideas for any game modes? Let me know in the comments section below. Until next time, see ya.